Om Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Hare Ram Hare Krishna Radhe Govinda Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dear devotees, today is a very auspicious day for all of us. Why? Because one is full moon day. Apart from that, today is a great day, the birthday of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a great devotee, the devotee incarnate, we can say, and is also considered as an incarnation of Radha and Krishna, both put together. And apart from that, this is a day where the Holika Dahan happened actually. Holika Dahan, the story goes from the mythological point of view, is Prahallada's father, Hiranyakashipu. He was thinking that he himself is omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent, or all powerful. And he also expected his subjects that he should be worshipped like God. So some of them they didn't worship. As a result, they had to get a lot of punishments, maybe economical punishments, or otherwise they were put into jail or put into a lot of problems. And so most of the common people, out of fear, they used to say that Om Hiranyakashipaya Namaha, like that. They used to worship in front of him or in front of public, but inside they used to remember God. Astonishingly, this Hiranyakashipu's son himself, who was the great devotee of Lord Narayana, he started worshipping Lord Narayana every time. So his father was unable to bear. He tried to tell him, he tried to convince, he tried to make him understand in different ways. But this Prahlada was very adamant. Then finally he got vexed or annoyed, and he started troubling Prahlada in different ways, like throwing him into the ocean and throwing him from the high mountains or into valleys or whatnot. Every time he was rescued, he was protected by Lord Narayana. That is the efficacy of or the greatness of the power of the devotion. So basically, Prahlada's father becomes mad. He loses his temper. How to kill this fellow, my greatest enemy, my own son Prahlada? Then Prahlada's aunt, she said, because she had done penance for a long time, and she had got one of the wonderful boon from Lord Brahma, creator God, that if she sits in the fire, she will not be burnt. Basically, fire cannot burn her. That was one of the boons she had got from the Lord Brahma. So she reminds to the Prahlada's father, her own brother, and she says that now I will take the Prahlada and you can create a big fire, and I will be sitting on the pile of the fire. And Prahlada doesn't have that boon since he will be burnt into ashes, and I will not be burnt, so I can come back, so that no one can come into rescue or whatever. Definitely, Prahlada's father was very happy. The very huge fire was prepared, log of woods and others. And Prahlada, along with the Prahlada, his aunt also, both of them, they sat and they lit the fire. And slowly, it was a very quite a huge fire. Astonishingly, nothing is happening to Prahlada. Holika is asking time and again, is nothing is happening for you? Nothing is happening to you? Prahlada said, no, no. And he was go on repeating the Lord's name, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. After some time, interestingly, Holika started feeling burning sensation and she started feeling burning. And she got burnt also. And she shouted, Oh Lord Brahma, you had blessed me and you had given me special boon that fire cannot burn, but the fire is burning me. What is happening? Then there was a thunder and there was a voice. Uh, you had given a power, but unfortunately you misused for wrong things. As a result, the power has been withdrawn and you have been burnt, and you are paying for your wrong deeds. Basically, Holika was burned into ashes, and Prahlada came out with untouched from the fire. So, as a reminder, even in the Indian culture, this Holika Dahan is done today. So that is one mythological story. What does signify actually? the bonfire, what does signify? It signifies that with the help of devotion, with the help of practicing higher values, with the help of taking the shelter at the feet of Lord, one can burn all our instincts, wrong ideas, or what you say, wrong nature, or mean mindedness, all these things, so that one can get purified and one will be fit enough to receive the God's grace or to take the shelter at the feet of the Lord. So that's one more important story on this day. Now coming to today's talk, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the devotion incarnate. So in the Bhagavata, one of the scripture, there the narration comes that Radha, she had a Mahabhava. In Bhagavata, it has been described. In Sri Ramakrishna also, we can see this Mahabhava. Mahabhava consists of 16 bhavas actually. So in all of us, we can practice one bhava and by which we can attain God. Like we can say Dasya Bhava, the master and servant attitude, which was expressed or exhibited or practiced by Hanuman. Hanuman always, most of the time, he thought he is the servant and Sri Rama as his master. And similarly, for an example, Mirabai did Madhura Bhava. She is the wife, and her husband is Lord Krishna. Like this, each bhava has got 5 bhavas in Vaishnavism, and there are permutation combination of these 5 bhavas, which runs into 16 bhavas. And all these 16 bhavas were manifested in Radha alone. Commonly, 1 or 2 bhavas we can exhibit in us. Third bhava, if it exhibits, our body cannot bear, our body will be burnt. That's what occurred in the Bhagavatam and scriptures. And in the whole religious and scriptural history, only in Radha we can see the 16 bhavas were manifested. That's why she is respected lot. Apart from that, available history, available records, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, this 16 bhavas, which is called Mahabhava, was manifested. And again, one more record we find in Sri Ramakrishna, we can see that the 16 bhavas, which is a Mahabhava, was manifested. Now, Radha was so much obsessed, or she was always thinking about Krishna, so much very pure, unselfish love we can see in Radha's love towards Krishna. It was not a biological love, rather, it was a devotional love, pure, unselfish love. So Krishna also felt many times jealous of Radha. Why? Because she is able to enjoy that love, but whereas he is not. So, as per the history goes or the story goes, as a result, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the manifestation of Radha and the manifestation of Krishna both happened in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it seems. So the lover and the loved both were manifested in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, the lover is the Radha and the loved was Krishna. Both were manifested in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's where we can see Mahabhava was very well done. Now, coming to his birthhood or his childhood, he was born in the Bengal. And those time, Bengal was one of the important city or important cultural geographical land in the India, where the Navya Nyaya, the modern logic was intact. It started from the Mithila, and it took a very beautiful shape or beautiful development in the Nadia area in the Bengal. And the interesting part of the origin of this Navya Nyaya, new logic, is very interesting. If you see, we have got 9 systems of philosophy in India, in Indian philosophy. We had a old logical system. It is basically art of argument, art of understanding, art of interpretation, all these things. But Buddhism later, it developed such a concrete and very well-defined logical system. They started attacking on the Vedic scholars, and they started attacking on the Vedantic scholars, and the Vedantic scholars or Vedic scholars were getting defeated. And what was the competition deal was, in competition, whoever wins, whatever he says, the person who was defeated, he has to follow. And most of the time, these Buddhist scholars used to win over the Vedic scholars, and Vedic scholars were demanded that they should leave away their religion, that is Hindu religion or Sanatana Dharma, and they are supposed to follow Buddhism. As a result, many of the Indian Hindu Vedic scholars, they had to leave the Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, and they had to follow the Buddhism, likingly or unlikingly. So that was one of the intellectual challenges Vedic scholars had to face during 6th or 7th and 8th century AD. Those times, slowly our Indian scholars started thinking we have to protect our Dharma and we have to protect our Vedas. As a result, they started doing the lot of homework or spade work, intellectual spade work. As a result, by roughly 11th or 12th century, this Navya Nyaya came into existence. Every word, every sentence, and every definition of the any concept, they used to tear apart. They can sizzle apart, tear apart, and they run. The discussions will run after pages based on syntax, based on the words, based on the cases or vibhakti, which we call in Sanskrit. All these things. That's how Navya Nyaya came into existence. Anyhow, so this Puri Jagannath Mishra or Pandit Jagannath Mishra, he was one of the Vedic scholar in those times, and he had a wonderful pious lady. Wife was Sachi Devi. For them, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born as a 10th son. It's very interesting. And 8 daughters. First, initially, Sachi Devi had 8 daughters. Unfortunately, those times, which was quite common also sometimes, all the 8 daughters during infancy itself, they were passed away. And as a 9th baby, there was a one more. She had a son, and at the age of 16, he left. He renounced the home and earth, and he became a monk, and he went to Vrindavan. So obviously, mother, as a mother, we can very well imagine she had lost her 8 daughters, and 9th was one son. And at the age of 16, he renounced the home and earth, and he went to Vrindavan, taking up monastic vows. So the 10th, as a child, male child was born. This is our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And according to the horoscope or whatever, he was named as Vishwambar. Now, so much pain was there in this mother's heart. As a result, she named the 10th son as Nimai, actually. Nimai has got two meanings. One is Nimai, it represents the neem tree. Neem represents what? Bitterness. So she had so much bitterness. So she named his 10th son as a Nimai, means as a neem tree. So it can either he may die or he also may go away like his brother. As a result, I'm facing the bitterness time and again by my children. As a result, she named him as a Nimai. And apart from that, there's one more meaning, interesting meaning of Nimai is there's a temporariness or a momentariness. So all my children are temporarily, momentarily, they are living with me. So keeping that in the mind, she called her son, own son, as a Nimai. Anyhow, after slowly, and he was very, very light golden complexion he had, it seems. This our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why people started calling him as Gauranga. Anga means organs or body. Gaur means gold complexion, or which is very attractive color, basically, we can say. Since he had a very golden complexion color, skin of the body, that's why people started calling him Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. That's how he's known as Nima, he's known as Gauranga, but Vishwambar didn't come into much thing. And very interesting, in all the incarnations, there will be prophets and incarnations, we can see some resemblance. In our Vishwambara's case also, we can see very clearly, when he was small, any like children, they used to cry. Even if this Vishwambara cries, whatever you give food, whatever you milk or any toys, he never used to keep quiet. As soon as her mother or any relatives or neighbors, if they start singing the Hari's name or Vishnu's name, Hari's name, or just Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, used to keep quiet, it seems. So that's how, as a mother, to keep the child calm, she used to sing many times Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. The same thing we can see in the life of Swami Vivekananda. When young Naren used to do a lot of child pranks and all, when mother was unable to control, she used to catch him. She used to catch him, she used to pour water on him, and she used to utter Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and he used to become calm, it seems. How we can see similarities between these incarnations and prophets. And he was very intelligent, and he mastered at the age of 16 itself, he had mastered the syllogism and the six branches of the Vedas, six sub branches of the Veda: Shiksha, Vyakarana, Kalpa, Nirukta, Chandas, and Jyotishya. We see six auxiliaries of the Vedas. So he had mastered all of them, and he had become one of the best authentic person on the Navya Nyaya in those days. Here there's a one very interesting story which goes. One of his friend, he thought that he had an ambition, he had a strong desire, he had a strong passion that I should become one of the best person in this Navya Nyaya. And he worked a lot, and really he did hard work, and he also used to write some good books and all. He was very happy, and more or less he was confident that he will become the best in the Navya Nyaya, and he will be known for his scholarship. And one fine day, Vishwambara and his friend both were traveling in the boat in the Ganges. Then Vishwambara's friend came to know that Vishwambara also is writing some glossary or some commentaries on the Nyaya Sutras. Then this, as an inquisitiveness, Vishwambara's friend asked, enquiries Vishwambara, what did you write? What are you writing? He had a manuscript, which is palm leaves in those days. And he said, like, I'm writing commentary on the Nyaya Sutras. Sutras are like formulas. He was very much interested, and there was an inquisitiveness. And at the same time, he had a concern whether he will be able to reveal whether will he reveal it or not. But anyhow, Vishwambara's friend asked Vishwambara, my dear friend, will you mind to share your work? I would like to see. Then Vishwambara said, yes, there is no secrecy. What is there? Knowledge should be transferred always. Look, there's a work which I am doing it. And he started reading the commentaries on the sutras. For his astonishment, it was one of the masterpiece. Whatever already Vishwambara's friend had written and finished his work, he thought that is the best work, going to be the best work. But here he sees Vishwambara, that is our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has written the wonderful masterpiece or commentary and explanation on the sutras, and which is very pithy, which is very short, and at the same time beautiful composition or beautiful writing and Sanskrit from point of view, grammar point of view, explanation point of view. From all the angles, this will be the totally the best book or the best work on the Navya Nyaya. That is the new logic. Then this Vishwambara's friend started crying. Tears started rolling down. Vishwambara got stunned. Then Vishwambara asked, my dear friend, why are you crying? What happened? Did I trouble you or whatever? Vishwambara's friend said, no, but I'm feeling very bad, and all my desires and my ambitions got shattered and got into pieces. Vishwambara didn't understand first and asked, my dear, can you explain me a bit? I'm not able to understand. What do you mean by that? Then Vishwambara had to open himself, and he said, look, I would like to become a Pandit. I have become Pandit. I would like to become the first person in the Navya Nyaya in our area. And I tried, and I have written a book, as you know. I thought that will be the best book. Now I see your book will be the best book. I will be no more. I can be the champion of the Navya Nyaya. I am feeling very sad, and my goal and my dream was shattered into pieces. So we feel quiet, we will feel, try to console him at the best, or you say it is your problem, you hang up yourself, we may say at the most. Immediately, Vishwambara, he laughed into tears. Oh, that's all, my dear friend, this is all problem. And immediately his whatever great work, of course, it's a great loss for all of us, he thrown that work into Ganges and said, don't worry, your work will be the best work, he said that, and now you will be the champion of Navya Nyaya. And he said, and he never wrote any work on this Navya Nyaya. So that winning over jealousy or winning over competition and the truthfulness and the simplicity or the spirituality, we can see in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, even from his young age or in the adolescent age. And also one more very common thing which I found in Sri Ramakrishna's life and also in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life also, like Sri Ramakrishna also lost his father during his very childhood, maybe at the age of 7 or 8. Similarly, even Gauranga also lost his father very early. But that didn't make them pessimistic, or that didn't make them like a single child and carefree or whatever. Rather, they were very considerate towards mother, and they used to always take care of the mother. And at the same time, they fulfilled all the responsibilities in a right way. That's the one thing which we can say very clearly. In 1509, By the time Gauranga or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Vishwambara was very famous those days, and a lot of people used to call for debates and Navya expositions, and many places used to go and used to give a lot of talks and used to participate in debates and used to get a lot of costly gifts in those days. And he was very well accomplished Pandit in those days. One fine day in 1509, while he was traveling in the part of Bengal and all, he came to Bihar and he wanted to go to Gaya. We all know that Gaya is very important place for all of us. Sri Ramakrishna came from there and all that. There's a beautiful dream, etc. So Gauranga also went to the Gaya. He had a wonderful vision, or he had a darshan of Lord Gadadhara and all. There he met a sannyasin who belongs to Madhvacharya Sampradaya, which is a dualistic Dvaita Sampradaya. When he met that monk, he was very much impressed by that monk, and he said, I don't want anything and I'm ready to sacrifice, renounce everything. I will follow you, and I will dedicate myself for the cause of the society, and I will probably dedicate myself for the experience of the Krishna or Narayana. That's how he was got impressed by his guru from Madhvacharya Sampradaya, and he renounced everything and he stopped study, he stopped debates, he stopped philosophical participating in philosophical debates, and he started completely spending time in japa meditation. And he was initiated by his guru with the Krishna mantra, and day in and day out, just he used to do Krishna mantra japa, and tears used to roll down. Many times he used to become unconscious because of the ecstasy or spiritual ecstasy, we can see. And slowly, slowly, then he renounced his life. And obviously, mother was unhappy, and he went and he tried to console the mother. And he started traveling Bihar and especially West Bengal and Orissa, these parts, and he started spreading the name of Hari or Krishna or whatever. And few of the people, they got out of jealousy or whatever they got on it, and they started creating a lot of troubles and problems. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, I think by taking sannyasa, I can see taking sannyasa was what was his intention of taking sannyasa? Because they are troubling me, and also they are trying to stop spreading the Krishna's name, and by that they're incurring sin. They are doing the evil actions. And fools, they are not able to understand this. How much ever I'm trying to tell, they are not able to understand, and probably they may go to hell. Now, how can I stop this? How can I check this, or how can I prevent this? Then he thought, because in Indian culture, Hindu culture, as we all know, that we respect monks a lot. If I take monasticism, then at least if I'm monk, then I will be authority for this spirituality and religion. At least they will stop uh, annoying me or stopping, preventing me to spread Krishna's name, so that at least their life is taken care. They will not be going to hell. So for the Loka Kalyana or Loka Sangraha, as Bhagavad Gita says, for the betterment of the society, he takes sannyasa from Keshava Bharati. Or one more name, it is there, or Ishwarapuri, they say. From Ishwarapuri, he takes sannyasa. So when he was initiated traditionally by doing Virja Homa and other things into sannyasa, his guru Ishwarapuri gives the sannyasa name, which is called in Sanskrit Pattanama, or the when we take monastic vows, as we all know that our pre-monastic name will be changed and Guru will give a new name. So the Ishwarapuri gave a new name for the Gauranga as Krishna Chaitanya. That's how he is called Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Krishna was left, only Chaitanya it became predominant. That's how he became Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was named as Krishna Chaitanya. Now, people may ask why this Krishna Chaitanya came, why not? Like, for example, what is your name? If you ask me, I will say, my name is Swami Shantivratananda. Any surname is there if you ask? Yes, my surname will be Puri. So we have got 10 names, 10 sampradayas which was started by Shankaracharya, like Puri, Giri, Saraswati, Chaitanya, Aranya, all this like this 10 names are there. Among them one Chaitanya also. So his guru has given this surname will be Chaitanya, and his name will be Krishna. Like my name is Shantivratananda, his name was Krishna. Anyhow, so once he took sannyas and started preaching religion or devotion, then who were preventing him, because now he has become a monk, they started keeping quiet, and slowly, slowly, people started getting increased. And one more interesting, when I went to Bengal and when I was studying, trying to understand the Bengal culture, I was thinking why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave the devotion part, the Vaishnavism got spread, and the devotional part got so much spread in the Bengal. We can see very clearly, fine. But why that Navyanaya got stopped? Or why not the Advaita and the logical part was reduced? This was one of the question I had when I went to Bengal for few when I started staying in Bengal, when I was witnessing. I was thinking and I discussed with few of my acharyas and with few of my brothers and all, but I had not got a satisfactory reply. But when I was reading the Swami Shardananji's book on Sri Ramakrishna's great master, in one place, Swami Shardananji writes a beautiful narration or beautiful explanation why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spread the Krishna's name or the devotional fervor in the whole of Bengal. It is a very interesting note, actually, from the historical perspective point of view. As we all know, Jainism and Buddhism got spread in whole of India. The west and the southwest part of the India, Jainism and the Bihar, little some part of the Bihar was widespread. Jainism was widespread. North part, east part, and southeast part, their Buddhism became much prevalent. And the Buddhism entered into Bengal slowly. Even Dharmadevata, we say in the Buddhism, that is nothing but it is a part of Buddhism actually. So the Buddhism, when it entered slowly, the Buddhism got merged with the Tantra, and that's how the new school of Buddhism came into picture. That is Vajrayana, which traveled to Tibet. Vajrayana, that's how it got Buddhism plus Tantras. And tantric practices were there already in the Bengal, and the Buddhism also came. Buddhism also took many things, many sadhanas or spiritual practices from the Tantras. And slowly, because of the decline of the Buddhism, unfortunately, there were a lot of backdoor practices came into existence. And these backdoor practices, it became so prevalent, and in the name of religion, people started fulfilling their basic instincts in the name of religion or whatever. So basically, the whole culture had come down. So in the name of religion, a lot of unnecessary practices, backdoor practices, all these things had come down. As a common folk, the people's mind or the strength of the mind had reduced. Then logic or Advaita would not have suited. That's the reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, those at that critical juncture, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in Bengal and he started spreading the Vaishnava Bhakti or Krishna's Bhakti. So it elevated the whole Bengal's mind. That's the one side. And if you see the whole history of the India those time, because of the continuous invasions, Indians were struggling to exist, and there were so many other problems. Then the logic and the Advaita knowledge was not easy for anyone to practice. Their emotional strength was required for the whole Indian folk. That's where the whole Bhakti movement came into existence in India. The western part, Mirabai and all. Above, if you say in the northern part, Kabir, Tulsidas came. In middle part, if you see few others, and if you see in the southern part of India, 64 Nainamars and 64 Alvars, and Dasa Sahitya, which we see in Karnataka, and Vachana Sahitya in northern part of Karnataka, all different parts of India. If you see from 12th to 19th century, a big Bhakti movement came, and it reviewed the Indian culture, and it protected the Indian culture and the mindset of the people also. So similarly, he elevated the whole Bengal, especially Bengal and Orissa's people's minds, and he beautifully he induced the Krishna Bhakti in everyone. And wherever you go, hundreds of people used to follow, and day in and day out, they were doing chanting and they were doing Hari Bhajan and Krishna's Bhajan, etc. And astonishingly, after some years, when his elder brother, who is Nityananda, he also comes back from Puri, from Vrindavan. They meet each other, and the Nityananda was taken to her mother. Her mother also was very happy to see his elder, ninth son. Both of them, they started living together. Nityananda is shortly they is called Nitai, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Nimai. Nityananda and Nimai, or Nitai Nimai, is very well known in the Bhakti Shastras. And once he becomes sannyas and started spreading, slowly, the Orissa and Bengal becomes the heart seat. And hundreds of people started following him. But very few hours only, or few Yeah, few hours only he was external conscious, or most of the time used to spend his time either in contemplation or prayer or doing japa, and most of the times he was in spiritual ecstasy. And very there is an interesting story how spiritual people can transform the people, or how can they bring the change. For example, if you study Buddha's life, there is called Anguli Mala. Mala means, garland. Anguli means actually the last little finger. Anguli is any finger, but little finger generally used to say. So he had a very interesting and very bad practice. He used to kill a lot of, he has killed a lot of people, this Anguli Mala. His name is something else. And after killing or slaying a person, he used to cut the finger of the little finger of that person and used to wear into that mala garland. That's why it's known as Anguli Mala. So his Anguli Mala's that mala garland was quite a big, it seems. So quite a few hundreds he might have killed. And when Buddha was going in that particular direction, the people dissuaded him, saying that please don't go there because there's Angulimala, demon-like person, and you'll be killed or whatever. Buddha never cared, and he went, and by his compassion, love, or spiritual personality, he changed the Angulimala, and Angulimala became a great devotee of Buddha, and he changed his life. And same thing we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Girish Chandra Ghosh, he was a drunkard, and as he himself says, interestingly, that I mean, he was a chain smoker and chain drunkard also. He says that how much ever I have consumed the liquor, if I arrange the bottles one above other, it surpasses the Mount Everest, he says. I mean, so much drinking he has done. So he was changed by Sri Ramakrishna's touch or Sri Ramakrishna's. He came into contact with Sri Ramakrishna. Similarly, the two Brahmins, they were born in Brahmin family or whatever, but because of wrong tendencies or because of the prarabdha karma and whatever, they became very nocturnal people, and they did a lot of heinous acts, and they used to kill people, they used to go and plunder the wealth from the wealthy people, and the whole village, quite a few villages were terrified by these two people called Jagai and Madhai. They were brothers actually. So if people say that Jaga and Madha is coming, in no ways, I mean, the whole village is to get empty. It seems everyone is to go inside and they close the doors. And if anywhere they dig the small, I mean, ground in the backside of their houses, if there is anything, they will in the pot they will use to cover their gold and jewelry or money if anything is there, and they used to take care some of that so that their life is taken care. Such a terrific condition is to be there those times it seems. And once. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells one of his disciple or his brother that you go and you go and spread the name of Krishna to Jagai and Madai. See, when the people hear the name, people used to run away. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving a task for Nitai or Nityananda that you go and give the Lord's name for this Jagai and Madai so that let their life be turned out, let they come out from the heinous acts or whatever. So definitely, I mean, many devotees or disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, it is a really, I mean, I mean, it is not possible. Definitely, will be killed. And why you want to put the Nitai, I mean, Nityananda into the lion's den? So please, we will not do it. All these things they persuaded. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, Lord Hari is there, Krishna is there for us to take care. Nothing will happen. Nityananda, you go. And obviously, Nithai and some of the devotees, they went, they were doing Hari Bol or Krishna Bhajan, and slowly they went. They came near this in the house where Jaga and Madai were there. And he went inside, and Nityananda said, why are you wasting your life? Please take the Harinam and take the name of Krishna, and you start repeating Krishna's name. You will be free from all sins, you all from the evil acts, and you will have a blessed life, purified life. Then I think Madhai got angry and Anand, you are giving a lecture for us, and like that. And he took, there was a, I mean, earthen part, he took it and he hit the Nityananda very strongly. And there was a crack here, and there was a very profusely blood was oozing out, and he fell down. And he was trying to control the blood, and he was trying to do something. But still, Nityananda said, no, you don't do this. It will add up for your sin, and take the Lord's name and etc. And the devotees were also trying to protect Nithai, but still Madai was very angry. And again, he took one more piece of that earthen pot, and he wanted to hardly want to strike on this Nityananda so that probably he might be killed. Then, interestingly, Jagai came and he hold the Madai's hand and said, look, already is a holy man. and you have broken his head or whatever, there's a crack in his head. So you have done a heinous crime we are doing. So by doing it again, you should not do it. Please stop it. Enough is enough. Like that, Jagai holded the Madai's hand. Then by this time, the news was sent to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came again, both of them were angry, and I think Madai wanted to go and hit even the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he embraced the Jaga and said, "Look, you are so beautiful person. You are so nice person." It's a very interestingly you see. Why? Because of you, my brother Nityananda got saved. Otherwise, Madai would have put one more heart below, heart, what you say, one more strong blow, probably Nityananda would have died. Because you stopped the mother, that's how our brother Nityananda was saved. So you are such a great person, so you are so compassionate person, so nice person, I love you, saying that he embraced. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, imagine, when he embraced him, the divine touch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought a big change in the Jagai's mind and his life. Unknowingly, profusely, Jaga started crying. Tears started rolling down on the Jagai's cheeks, and he immediately fell down at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he said, "Please bless me. Please show me the path. How can I get away from my all sins or evil actions? And I want to take the path of good action, path of righteousness or whatever." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy, and Madai was still, he was bit in shock and he wanted to do something, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed him also. Then Madai also bent on his knees and he also asked for forgiveness from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Both of them, they became ardent devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They took the Lord's name, and afterwards they started spreading the name of Lord Hari in the whole Bengal, Orissa, or whatever. Like this, quite a few things has happened. Afterwards, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he started staying in the Puri actually. The Puri Jagannath we know. In the Puri he was staying, and most of the time again he was in the God consciousness. And very interestingly, as I told, that there are a lot of miracles are also we can see in the life of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he was small itself, many people got their desires were fulfilled. Some of the people's diseases were were taken care. For an example, someone was born blind, born deaf, born dumb. All of them, their problems were reduced or were taken care, or it was cleared by the miracles of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he also started the philosophy called Shuddha Dvaita or Beda philosophy, which is a sort of amalgamation of. Basically, they follow the Madhvacharya's Dvaita Siddhanta, added with Bhagavata Sampradaya is there. So he gave a beautiful philosophy, and whatever we see in the Orissa and the Bengal today, Vaishnavism and Chintya theory, all these things was given by Lord Jagannatha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But very interesting point is the whole eastern part of the India was uplifted. The people's mind was uplifted by by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And for an example, one person was there who had a limping. He was a basically specially able person, or he was not able to walk because there was a problem in him. Whereas I think he had done some wrong things, and all, as a result, he had all these problems. But when he came in, when he heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and slowly with the difficulties, he came to Puri and he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he received his blessings. And miraculously, his problems all got cleared and he was able to walk and he started jumping and all. Then that fellow, he asked, "How can I serve you? What can I do? Because now I am physically fit, I can do anything and everything. What can I do?" So again, this is one of the interesting point in all these great people. For example, when Nivedita asked for Swami Vivekananda, like, "I have accepted you, my as a teacher. How can I serve you?" Instantly, Swami Vivekananda said, "You can come back to India and you can, serve my mother India by giving the woman's education," because she was an educationist. So by giving a woman's education, girls' education, it will be nice. So he didn't ask anything personally. So similarly, in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's case also, when this fellow asked, "How can I serve you? What can I do?" Immediately said, "Now physically you are fit. There was no physical disabilities for you. Now you start singing the Lord's name and completely, and you try to spread and you try to dance in the Lord's name." That's what he was asked. So basically, in the Puri, where this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there, day in and day out, many people used to come, day in and day out. They used to have Akhand Nam Bhajan. Means whole day and night, people used to have a lot of bhajans, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was getting to all these things. And there are two, three variations about his end. The story goes like this. The one generally interesting story, or most widely accepted story, goes like this. One day he saw the Puri in the Arabian Sea. He saw in Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal. Yeah, he saw, because it was in a blue in color. The blue in color reminded him Yamuna River. So he thought there's a Yamuna river and Krishna will be there. And he went inside the ocean, and he was quite weak at that time with age and fasting and other things. As a result, probably he had taken a good amount of water and all. And but because it was a miracle, you can say, or because he was so weak and he was so light, you can say, he was floating, it seems. One fisherman, it was a evening, so fisherman went to fishing. Then he had put the already the net, and net he got that there is a something, because in the night he's not able to see properly. He felt that there is a huge fish, because it was quite heavy. With all difficulties he pulled the fish, I mean net. He thought that he has got a big fish, like a maybe whale or whatever. Then when he was pulled to the full deck of the boat, he found that it is a, I mean, a corpse, or it is a body of a human being. And finally he took and he brought to the banks of the ocean. Then by that time, two or three disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were going in search of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They inquired and they found Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then finally they brought him and they did some first aid and all. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became bit okay, but afterwards remembering Chaitanya, I mean Lord's name, and he, again for Swarupa Goswami and Ramananda, for all of them to continue this tradition, to continue to spread the name of Lord Krishna. He gave that blessings and the final teachings, and he left this mortal. He left his mortal coil, and on the, I think, 14th June 1533 he left. So basically, if you see, he had come, he lifted the whole mankind's mind by giving the Lord's name. That's the one thing. And very interesting thing, which can be a mystical even for all of us, that Krishna and Radha were manifested in one person, which we can see in the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what does it mean actually? So it means the lover and loved both were manifested in one person. And also, as I told, this Mahabhava, which is a culmination of 16 bhavas, we can see only in three people. One was in Radha, and the second is in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Third was in Sri Ramakrishna. Mahabhava includes 16 bhavas, which has got a lot of explanations in Bhagavata. And in Sri Ramakrishna's Great Master also, we get some description about this Mahabhava. So when we study, what we understand is God is there, and divine, you can say supreme self, you can say Parabrahman, you can say Rama, Krishna, Ishvara, any name you can tell, or any name you can give or explain. So basically, when we read such people's life or teachings, and if we can try, then what we will understand, God is there very much, is palpatably, we can understand, we can experience him. And if we try, definitely we also can experience and we also can see the God. This is what we can understand by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life. That's how I got inspired by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life, one. And second thing is the devotion, the power of devotion, the efficacy of devotion. By taking the Lord's name, how one can get purified, how one can get into the spiritual vibes, and how one can experience the God, and how beautiful. All these things we can understand. And Shishtastakam and types of Sharanagati, which in Narada Bhakti Sutras and I think Om Rim Ritama, I have discussed all these points. All these things are very beautiful in Chaitanya's teachings. May Chaitanya Prabhu on this holy day bless all of us, so that we shall also have a devotion to the Lord, and so that our life will be blessed, and we shall also be bathed in the Lord's teachings and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blessings. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.